Alright, what up guys? So this weekend I'm back and with something pretty damn exciting. So today we'll be looking at a collaborative product from Malaysia, and essentially it's a collaboration between three different, I guess, brands, labels. The first of which is Apothecary, which did their scent. The Oven, which is like a barber shop over there, kind of mixing their experience with Mentega, which is a pomade company out of Malaysia. And honestly, this is probably the most beautiful like product I've seen come out of Malaysia. Like when I first opened up the package, I was like blown away. This thing is just gorgeous. The scent was unbelievable, and I mean, we're just gonna have to see and hope that this thing performs as well as it looks and smells. Because if so, this may be kind of like the first and like the one thing that I just would highly recommend everyone importing from in Malaysia just to experience. But of course, we'll start off by looking at the jar, and throughout the review we'll get more into what kind of what I believe each of the collaborators really, where the input resided. And yeah, so let's look at it. For those of you who work in the machine shop or with like in a lab with like chemicals, you'll recognize the jar right away, or the can. Definitely cool looking. Yes, like let's be honest, it might be a little practically like a little hassle scooping out the product later on as it gets like lower and lower in the jar, but still you can't, like, it looks good. It looks damn good. And so like I said, the collaborators are Apothecary from Malaysia, the Oven, and Mentega. The design work is more akin to what we see with Apothecary, so I'm guessing they are the ones who really primarily led the design work along with the scent. But yeah, like it's good, it's clean, it definitely has its like kind of like a really nice unique aesthetic that we haven't, well, I personally haven't seen come out of Malaysia yet. You have information on the side, directions for use, and trying to find the official size, and I guess they consider this a 4-ounce jar as well. You can see it right here hidden within the design. And opening it up, you can see the product inside, and like I said, it will be a hassle to scoop out later on, but I mean, for me, honestly, like I think it's worthwhile to have such a beautiful like can sitting on the bathroom shelf or counter, and so I'm willing to deal with the hassle. But you can see the product inside, definitely very opaque, white. Based on the ingredients, we can't really say this whether this is an oil or water based, but technically I guess castor oil is the first ingredient, so it would be an oil based, but it is very quickly followed in second by water. So more so, who cares? We'll just really see how this thing performs. The scent of this paste, it's hard to describe. It's amazing, and it's very cologne-like. And honestly, like the thing that reminds me the most is my dad used to be a big cologne user, and there's one in particular I remember as a kid that he would always, like, it was the most consistent one he would use. And I don't know what it is exactly, but this is like the same scent, and it is like a crisp, very masculine, with like a pepperiness like type of smell, but overall like beautiful. I also have some of like Apothecary's like solid colognes, like on my my nightstand and stuff, and they are also phenomenal. So definitely like on par with what we would expect from them. But anyway, scooping it out, comes out basically as we would expect a paste to scoop out, super easy, almost cream-like, and kind of building up a little bit of grip as you agitate with your hands. But applying it to the hair, definitely very little grip, and just very easy to work with. So I guess, I mean, the definition of a paste is still really up in the air. Do they typically have some texture or capability to it? Yes. Is it really necessary? Like, no. And based off of this one, there's no clay in the ingredient stuff, so we don't really expect that. Yeah, it's still possible, because what we really feel is like the product is starting to kind of settle a bit in my hair. I can already feel it. There's a slight grip coming out right now, but It's definitely not like hardening or like settling like 100%. It's just getting thicker and kind of giving me the confidence that I would definitely be able to style something pretty like nice and tall with it now. But still, nevertheless, the grip coming in is still very easy to work through. Probably just take one more quick like lick out of the jar, very small, just because I don't think I really touched this front part very well. But yeah, and also like the aroma is kind of starting to really like permeate like through the room, and like I love the scent. This is probably one of the best scents I've ever experienced out of a pomade, and definitely way above what you would expect out of a hair product. Like this is something more like very much like good quality cologne. And this is coming from me, who's like, I am exclusively like a Comme des Garçons like cologne user. So I'm very much impressed with what they are offering right now. Anyway, just combing things back. So combing it through is very easy, but what I'm really noticing is that it's a pretty thick product, so kind of really allowing that, or really kind of reminiscent of an oil-based product, so pretty unique in that regard. And this will be the first time I've used like something as thick as this in a really long time, just because I use a lot of clays now on products on the lighter side, just really embracing kind of like the freeformness and the texture. But this is a nice kind of like going back to something that is definitely a lot slicker. And anyways, go ahead, start styling. And go ahead, call that done. And I love it. I mean, I'm pretty blown away right now. Like, this is a pretty damn good fucking product. It's like kind of, imagine as though you had some sort of like, I guess, firm, waxy, oil-based product. Water soluble though, because I was able to wash it off my hands with just water, and so you expect it to kind of remove from your hair very easily. But anyways, like imagine a firm, waxy oil base that is not like super greasy or super thick in any ways. Like it is thick relative to water base, but not like nowhere nearly as kind of heavy or kind of dense as an oil based product. So what you can get is beautiful volume, like beautiful volume that is not too heavy in that like you get a cone like shaped like pomp, but kind of just present enough such that you don't get any like stray hairs, you don't get anything falling from the side. Like the pomp is basically formed, like leans towards the middle, is beautifully formed. There is no fraying towards the sides. There is like, it definitely has just enough weight to it. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. This is not a product meant for texturing. I would say this is definitely meant for a beautifully slick, yet kind of like a neutral, maybe a touch of luster to it, just a bit, just to kind of make your hair look healthy, but not enough to say that like, oh, you got something really oily in your hair at all. And I mean, the styling process control wise, like this is a pretty damn easy to use product. I mean, lifting it forward, like there is just enough grip in the product to really bring that pump forward, but not enough to basically continue to hold onto the comb and then just fall forward and fall apart. Like this is a pretty damn balanced product. Balanced, but still high volume and like kind of like a very like firm hold. But yeah. Man, the scent is still like permeating, and it's really nostalgic for me in many ways, but it just period like a very pleasant, very respectable like scent overall. But anyways, a few more things to grasp and check. We'll go throughout the whole day now, and we'll come back and talk about the endurance afterwards. Alright fam, so basically at the end of the day, so let's go ahead and wrap up this review. So as you can see, this is it restyled with a comb during the day. It's not the most resilient product, but by far it is not one I would say that is even very susceptible to messing up. I mean, now with the summer winding down, fall coming in, the wind might cause problems, but basically like moderate heat, just like anything, like nothing too crazy, like this thing can definitely survive it. Cool thing I noticed is during the day, kind of like what you'll notice is your hair might start clumping up a bit. So you kind of get this natural texture that forms just because there's like some natural separation that happens. And you can actually finger comb it with like a textured freeform pomp. But at the same time, as you can see, if you put a comb through it, you can then still hold on to like a very slick, very like that same finish you had in the morning, like type of pompadour, and it is very easily restyled. You can definitely hold on to a lot of the volume, and yeah, I mean, very surprising just how well it kind of was able to maintain the ability to be styled during the day. So endurance and restylability, yes, like I'm pretty damn impressed by it, especially for a product that now like the thickness doesn't really come out to isn't really as present anymore, and it feels very light in many ways and super clean. And what I'm really thankful for is that the scent is still permeating through the air. It is still present, and as you restyle it, you kind of bring it back out, and you can definitely smell it still. What else? Hardness doesn't harden at all. Greasy, like not at all. Though oil is like the primary ingredient in this like paste, I would say this is more accurately described as kind of like, I guess, an oil base, like water soluble like paste, because like you can definitely remove it with just water from your hands. Throw from your hair, a little more difficult. I would definitely recommend throwing in some shampoo, but it will come out. So you definitely have that ability to renew style with this one fresh again the next morning, or switch to something else. Like you have that capability, you have that choice. But yeah, so I think there's no question about it. This receives my seal of approval. Analogue paste by the Apothecary, the Oven, and Mentega like received my seal of approval. In fact, this is probably the best foreign like pomade I've ever used. One of the best pomades or pastes I've used. Period. Like just flat. Like I'm very impressed. I'm very happy they shared this with me, because I mean, if they had not reached out to me, I probably would never have found out about it. And I mean, this thing is remarkable. It has well, at least in the morning, it has like the thickness, the density, and the reliability of an oil-based like pomade. But in regards to like a water-based pomade, it has like the cleanliness, the lightness that comes out later in the day, and kind of like a very rare, like neutral, slight luster finish. It is really reminiscent of like Crystal Lake in a way, but much creamier in consistency, a little not as dense, and a little easier to style with a scent that I wouldn't even compare to anything we've had before. This is the best scent I've ever seen in a pomade paste hair product, period, like hands down. So if you're gonna do anything like in the near future, if you're willing to import a product, like this is the one time where I actually think it's really worthwhile to buy this product and have it imported here. I mean, assuming you live here in the US or anywhere outside of Malaysia, but this is one of the few products where I think it is a must to have. Like this is a pretty damn impressive product. I'm sorry I can't provide you guys any promo codes. I'll talk to them, see what I can do, but as of right now, can't really offer you guys anything but the recommendation that this is a pretty phenomenal product. So yeah, hope you guys got something out of this review. Congratulations, Malaysia, for making such a damn awesome product. And other than that, do have a few announcements for you guys tomorrow. Some big news, but we'll save that for tomorrow. So other than that, guys, take care and see you guys soon.